welcome to my channel. My name is Bria Iman, also known as TheBlackElleWoods, and I make videos about femininity, fashion, and lifestyle. So if that is something you're interested in, sit down, stay a while, join the clique by clicking the subscribe button and bell notifications so you get updates whenever I post new content. So today is a very important day in history. Today is January 15th and my sorority is celebrating 113 years of sisterhood, scholarship, and service. This is my second Founders Day and I would have loved to be able to go out and celebrate with my sorors, but unfortunately COVID is running rampant. So to commemorate this very important day, I have decided to do a sorority tag / Q&A just so you guys have an opportunity to get to know me a little bit better and I get to talk about my sorority. So without further ado, let's just hop right into the video. So I'm first going to start with the sorority tag questions that are pretty much general and are in other sorority tag videos, and then for the Q&A I'm going to tap into some of the questions my Instagram followers have asked me. So let's just hop right into the sorority tag. The first question is, what is the name of your sorority? So the name of my sorority is Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, also known as AKA, and I am a Spring 19 initiate of the pretty classy Pi Kappa chapter. So the next question is, what is your sorority's hand sign? It is the pinky, which is also trademarked. Next is, what is your sorority's call? It is the skiwi. I am not going to do it right now because I just know. But it is the skiwi. Did you always want to join a sorority? So I actually have a really interesting story behind that. So when I was in the 6th grade, my math teacher decided to show us Legally Blonde, and believe it or not, that was my introduction to Greek life. So with Elle being a Delta Nu and being president and always being surrounded by her sisters and living with her sisters, I was like, okay, when I go to college, when I grow up, I'm going to join a sorority. So fast forward to college, I knew nothing about D9 Greek life. I knew nothing about Greek life, honestly. I only saw what, mainstream movies have depicted Greek life as. So coming into college and going to, at first I went to a predominantly black school, wasn't an HBCU, but it was predominantly black. There was a lot of D9 on the yard, but I just didn't know who they were, what they were. But over time, I definitely did my research and I figured out what sorority I wanted to be a part of, which is of course the best, the first and the finest, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So there's another question, I believe, in the Q&A where I can go a little bit more in detail about why I chose AKA, but I'll save that for then. What is your favorite sorority related memory? So I want to say it was the first event my line sisters and I attended after we were initiated into the organization. It was, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like an alpha conference convention type of thing. I'm not sure, but they were having like this big thing in Albany, and my line sisters and I went with our charter member, and I personally felt like I was a princess. Like, I felt like I was a part of the Black elite, because when we went in, there was like hors d'oeuvres, and it was like, here ladies, you sit here. I just felt like, I felt very special. And I was like, okay, this must be life as an AKA. Like, you just go into places and just be treated like royalty. That's how I felt. But in the beginning, it was very nice, it was very classy. Like I said, there was a lot of like really nice food and drinks and stuff, and later that night it was a pool party, which was very fun. So that was probably a top college experience, and it is probably one of my favorite sorority related memories. Also, it was a really great time for my line sisters and I to just be on a town, that's AKA, so I really enjoyed that. What is your favorite gift that you ever received? So actually, my favorite gift is a gift that I don't even have in my possession. My special got me a paddle for my birthday, and it is so gorgeous, and I'm obsessed, and I want it so bad, but I have to go back upstate to get it. So I would say that's my favorite gift. Thanks, Bash. Is sisterhood a real thing? Sisterhood is absolutely a real thing. I personally joined for sisterhood, so if there wasn't, I'd be really disappointed, but I'm not. This is an amazing experience being a part of such a large sorority. It's amazing to be able to connect with sorors from all over the world and be able to establish strong relationships and get to know people and network. It's just an amazing experience. So I would absolutely say sisterhood is real, and I feel like I have never been really let down by any of my sorors, so I appreciate that. How many items of clothes do you have related to your sorority? So I don't have a closet full of apparel like some people do, unfortunately, but I do have a decent amount, and this is actually new. I got this for Founders Day, and this is a J15 sweater from the Para Girl, so I'm always looking to expand my Para collection and get more items because they're always so cute. What is the best part of being in a sorority? So the best part obviously would be the sisterhood. I love the sisterhood. I love the connections. I love being able to call up any of my line sisters or my pro fights, ask them for advice or to hang out or anything like that. And with my line sisters, we do birthday gifts. And my last birthday gift was this. It's a pillow of me. So they know me so well because they knew I would like something like that. And it's just great to be around people that you know understand you and care about you and want you to live your best life, and being able to reciprocate that energy. So I think that's definitely the best part of being in a sorority. It's always going to be the sisterhood for me. So that wraps up the portion of the sorority tag. Now we're going to jump into the Q&A, and let's see what some people asked me. The first question someone has asked me is, what made you interested in AKA? So my interest in AKA, of course, was something that came about during college, but I would say that it kind of was broken down into phases. So for example, when I was a freshman, I had some friends who were saying to me that they were interested in being AKAs, and I had no idea what they were talking about. So they showed me videos, and I was really intrigued. Like, I liked, of course, the pink. Pink has always been my favorite color, honestly. It was the crowns that our sorors who turn silver and diamond, I love me a crown. And then it was just the overall essence of femininity that I really admired and loved about the organization, and I knew that it was going to be something I was interested in and intrigued me, but it didn't really captivate me enough to be like, okay, this is the organization I'm going to join, because I wanted to make sure that I meshed well with the members, that I was able to gain further insight on the organization before I committed myself to it. From there, I was able to do some more research, and then I understood how serious D9 is, and it just opened up my perspective in understanding that this would be a lifelong commitment rather than, I think, some other board only involved during college. Not my tea. So I was really intrigued by the whole lifelong commitment, and what really got me was Elle, which is our founder, our guiding light, being a black woman in the early 1900s who had this idea to start a sorority that is still flourishing now. And I think that is so inspiring, because even now as black women today, we aren't really afforded certain luxuries. Everything is an uphill battle for us, and it's inspiring, and it's so invigorating to see a black woman one generation removed of slavery to really do her thing and create a sorority and allow it to be as successful and impactful as it has become in history. I'm just appreciative of that always, and that got me because during my sophomore year, when I began to learn more about AKA, was also when I began to learn more about myself and my place in the world, and I became really pro-black. So I wanted to be a part of history, and black history at that. So that sold me right then and there. So after transferring, that's when I was finally able to see AKAs in action, see how the organization works, see the sisterhood in action. That pushed my love for the org and wanted to be a member even further. And I remember praying every night to be an AKA and working really hard to get to where I am now. So that's a little bit about why I decided to become an AKA. It was so many different things, but I knew this organization was the right one for me. Someone has now asked, do you regret becoming an AKA? Did it meet your expectations? Obviously, becoming an AKA has not been a regret of mine, and it has met my expectations. Being that this is a lifelong commitment, I have so many more things to learn about my organization, so many more ways to grow, and I'm looking forward to the rest of my life as a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Next question is, Greek guys or GDIs? Personally, do not have a preference on if a man is in a Greek letter organization or if he is not in a Greek letter organization. I care about the character and the quality of the man, so no preference for that question. So someone has decided to be a little spicy, I guess, and asked, Have you dated a Greek guy? How has it affected your relationship? So as an AKA, I would say I've only dated one Greek guy, and it was fine. Like, I would say us being Greek didn't really affect anything. We really didn't talk about it much from what I remember, but it really had no effect. I would say that if I was, you know, a Neo on the yard and he was on the yard, it would have been maybe different. Hopefully not, because no one likes a juvenile situation, and that shouldn't ever affect, like, being Greek should not affect your relationship. But that wasn't my experience, and good luck to anyone who dates on the yard. Power to you. Do you know anyone who has become Greek for the perks or clout and not the brotherhood / sisterhood? So I personally don't know any Greeks who have informed me that they have joined the organization for clout or for perks. I would hope they wouldn't tell me that, but I do know people who were interested in these organizations and just wanted to do it for clout, and I will say none of these people are Greek today. So I don't think the desire for clout gets you far, especially in pursuit of these organizations. I just think it's not enough of a motivator, in my opinion, to get you to where you want to be. But I will say that, respectfully speaking, in my experience, I live in New York, so I'm only super familiar with Greek life in New York City. But here, being Greek really doesn't get you clout. I feel like it did maybe in 2016 and beforehand, but now you can be Greek all you want. That's not going to make you popular or give you clout, in my opinion. Maybe because I'm Greek now, I'm not really checking for who's Greek and wanting to be on their, you know, their body about it. And I feel like if a person does that, that's because they're interested in the organization themselves. But it really doesn't get you clout. So if anyone was thinking about doing it in New York City for clout, please don't waste your time. Don't waste our time, respectfully. Next question is favorite para shop. It really was Lux Ivy Boutique for some time, but I've really been branching out and looking into other para shops, and everything looks so good. So I can't say I have a favorite because all of it is so gorgeous and I'm just obsessed. So technically Lux Ivy, because I have a lot of power from that para shop, but I really can't say I have a favorite anymore because everything looks so good. Like this J15, you guys can't really see it, but this J15 sweater is so well made and it's gorgeous. Like, I'm obsessed. So no favorite. What is your favorite part about being an AKA? My favorite part about being an AKA is definitely being in a organization and having experiences that other people really won't be able to experience. And I'm really big on exclusivity, and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated definitely is supposed to be, or all of the 9 are supposed to be very exclusive. And all that I've learned, all of the discipline, all of the lessons, I really will not trade that for the world. So I would say that my learning experience, because it's all a learning experience, that is my favorite part about being an AKA, honestly. And the sisterhood, but that's really my favorite part as well. Is there anything you would change about AKA if you had the chance? I really don't want to offend anyone, but I'm really not the biggest fan of like really long lines. Honestly, I'm sure other orgs do that, but honestly speaking, I don't really pay attention to what other orgs do. I'm sure they're great, but I see a lot of the times there'll be very long AKA lines, and I'm just not really the biggest fan of that. I mean, you get it how you get it at the end of the day, and if you're really interested in being a member, I don't think you're going to be like, oh, this line is too long, I'm not going to, well, some people will, but I just feel like you get it how you get it, and I'm not here to judge. But personally, I'm not the biggest fan of like lines of like 80 and over 100. It's a lot, and I don't think you can really foster the sisterhood that I personally was looking for on a line that big. Like my line sisters, I know all of them very well. I know all that I need to know about them, honestly. So I don't think that would really be possible if there was like 100 of them. No shade, but I'm just not the biggest fan of that. But like I said, you get it how you get it. What is it like being an AKA? Being an AKA is just, you're just that girl. Like, I just that's how I feel personally. No, but seriously, being an AKA is a lot of hard work. It is a lot of service. There's a lot of events that are thrown. there's just so much that goes into it that I can't even really sit here and explain because I'll be here all day. But it really is an amazing experience, and I'm glad that I chose this lifestyle. It was the life for me, and it's amazing. For lack of better words, it's really amazing. AKAs in contrast to other sororities. It's like I want to be humble, but I really can't. I respect all other sororities, and especially the D9 sororities, and I know they do good work, but we see who's in the White House right now. Well, we'll be in the White House in a few days, but I don't know. I just feel like the organization really just speaks for itself. If you're not first, you're last, honestly. What is one way AKA has positively impacted you? So it has impacted me in so many positive ways, but because this is a femininity channel, I want to talk a little bit about how AKA has really cultivated me to become a more feminine woman. So I have always been girly, but coming into AKA, I really feel like I got the push to become more feminine, and I really cared about how I portrayed myself, how I spoke to people, how I just was perceived by the world, and how I just carried myself. And being a part of an organization where the standard is so high, you really never want to be the one that, I guess, brings down that standard. So it really pushed me to become more feminine, more refined, and more classy, and I can always appreciate that because, like I said, this is a learning experience, and I'm always learning from other sorors on how to become a refined feminine woman. So it definitely has affected my femininity in so many different ways, and I may do a video about it, but I want to say that it was one of the first things that came to mind when thinking about impacts. Last Q&A question is, what's the best advice you can give to someone interested in your organization? Well, I feel that you can go on many different group videos and gain similar information, and I feel like one of the main things that's very important, but what's really drilled in people's heads, is to do your research. And I want to say one thing about that, but then move on to my tip. Do your research goes far beyond let me look on the AKA 1908 website and learn founders and purpose. Like, I feel like the information you need to know is not there, so figure it out. Honestly, but do your research is just bigger than website information. That's something that I feel like isn't said often, so there's that. And keep it cute. Now, this is a life tip, but specifically when you are pursuing D9 orgs, or especially AKA, you need to keep it cute at all times. What do I mean by keep it cute? So I would say the earlier that you know that you want to pursue membership, like let's say in high school or your freshman year, the earlier you can, make sure that none of your personal business is spilling on the streets, that you're posting appropriate pictures, that you're not portraying yourself in a negative light. And that's important because we are looking for the best of the best. So it's always super important to keep it cute at all times, to remain mysterious, keep your personal business personal, and make sure you practice discretion as well. That could be a whole different tip, but just keep it cute. Always, forever and always. So that concludes my sorority tag / Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for making it to the end. If you like content like this, let me know in the comment section below and give me a like to support my new and upcoming channel. So thanks for spending my Founders Day with me, guys. I hope to see you in my next one. Stay pretty.